Welcome to part 3 of our 2023 Baltic cruise on Sky Princess. In this episode we visit Helsinki, Stockholm and have a sea day. We would be grateful if you would like and subscribe. Helsinki is very close to Tallinn, so we were already docked when we awoke. After our normal breakfast in our cabin, we took a short shuttle into the centre of Helsinki. A short walk took us to an indoor market selling a variety of food. Beyond the indoor market there was a colourful outdoor market. We could see there were boat trips around the island, so after a brief look around the market we got on one. Of course, Tom, our cruise monkey, came too.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board. During this cruise, we will tell you about the history of Helsinki, as well as about the places you will see. This market square, Kauppattori, is the most popular marketplace in Helsinki. On a busy summer day, up to 30,000 people visit the market.
This is the indoor market that we visited earlier. This is an Estonian-owned ferry that journeys between Helsinki and Stockholm.
We are now approaching Suomenlinna, one of the largest sea fortresses in the world. In 1991 it was included in the UNESCO list of World Heritage as a unique example of military architecture. The fortress was built in the 18th century.
On the right is the church of Sailaway, which has a lighthouse. This is a unique feature. There are only a few churches like this in the world. The church was built in 1854 and was originally a Russian Orthodox church. In the 1920s, the typical Orthodox pillars were taken down and it became a Protestant church. Today the church is very popular for weddings.
We passed the World War II submarine, which is now a museum.
Suomenlinna is a neighborhood with about 850 inhabitants. There is a kindergarten, a supermarket, a newsagent with a post office, and an arts center, as well as several museums, coffee shops and restaurants. There are also many conference facilities for rent on Suomenlinna. Suomenlinna is very popular among both tourists and inhabitants of the metropolitan area of Helsinki. During a sunny summer day, about 12,000 people visit. On the right is the island of Helsinki. The impressive building used to have 20,000 ships and pilots who worked there. Later, the building was used as the Maritime Museum. On the right is the island of Korkesaari, which is home to the Helsinki Zoo. By the pier, you can see our icebreakers on their summer holiday. These icebreakers keep the most important harbours of Finland accessible. The big breakers can break through ice as big as 5 meters.
Back on dry land, Jill sat in the marketplace while I wandered around to the square in front of Helsinki Cathedral. This building hosts the main offices of the Finnish government. This building is part of Helsinki University. While I was away, Jill saw this bagpiper. Back at the ship, we watched Latecomers arriving. We were soon on our way and watched the gulls fishing where the side thrusters were churning up water. It was Italian night in the main dining rooms. We spent the evening in Princess Live. We surprised ourselves by getting 27 out of 40 on a country and western music quiz. This was followed by what was billed as a great British pub night, which was unlike any of the pubs I've ever visited.
All day long she sits and signs, all day long she shines and says, Susie, Susie, sitting in shoe shine shop, she sits and signs and says,
By now there was a second waiter who remembered our cabin number. We won the trivia quiz. Jill headed back to the cabin, but I stayed for a bit of karaoke, looked in on the Priest's Lounge, walked through the Crown Grill bar and finished the evening with a trip up to the pool deck. Stockholm itself is built on 14 islands, but the way in from the Baltic passes through 24,000 islands of all shapes and sizes, many of which are occupied. We had our breakfast on the balcony during the final stages of our approach. We took a shuttle bus into the centre and saw these vehicles which travel on land and sea. We walked through a beautiful park. Stopped for a coffee near the park. We walked back through the park towards the waterfront. Jill sat at the waterfront whilst I went exploring. I rejoined Jill at the edge of the park and we headed back on the shuttle. We spent the rest of the afternoon watching our passage through the islands.
Relaxing on the balcony with our hard-won trivia quiz prize and Chris from the room service.
Later we headed to the Crown Grill. After our meal, we went back to our cabin for more island watching and had a quiet evening in. The next day was a lazy sea day. We started with breakfast in the Estrella main dining room. In the piazza, the chefs demonstrated their amazing fruit carving skills. Later, we went to the Vista Lounge for the next instalment of the Cruise Long Trivia, before going to lunch in Alfredo's. We briefly watched a cocktail demonstration in the piazza. Jill went to sea crafts in the Crown Grill while I had a drink in the bar. Later, we went to Princess Live for a quiz, followed by the Majority Rules game show. Heading back to our cabin at around 11 PM, there was still a lively atmosphere in the piazza. Thanks for watching. We'd be very grateful if you liked and subscribed.